Damn, would you just look at that? Another big manipulative run from the Bank of Japan, taking out so many traders once again, just like it did previously. This time a smaller move, but as before, really tricky business here from the Central Bank of Japan. All right, guys, before we start today's video, welcome to the Tuesday analysis. My name is Dima, and of course going to go through the charts that we started with this week that is on our short list. Let's have a look at where we are and update ourselves and see where the next opportunities lie in the markets this week from today, as we are today. Okay, and we are on the dollar here, and let's begin with the economic calendar. Let's just update ourselves what we've got today and the rest of this week. So here we are. Monday has passed. We had the New Zealand news, we have minor dollar news, and today the major one will be the CAD right on New York session. As we record this video, we had a minor news on the pound. We have some dollar news as well, and at the end of the day we have news from Australia, and then going into tomorrow there'll be more pound news and some minor dollar news. So the focus is, in terms of news volatility, will be CAD, the Aussie, and maybe some more from the US. But that's it for today and tomorrow. Let's have a look where we are on the technicals. Resuming with the dollar once again, this is what we looked at. We were seeing this level where the market moved away from. We are now having a retracement, and after breaking multiple structures, you can see that there is a level here for us to look at. This is the interesting level that we may or may not see a reaction of, but definitely a good price, a good cheaper price after having this swing in the market. Now this becomes the invalidation point. If the market runs lower, then we're no longer interested. And now we have our swing, a reference point going into highs. So that is the reference on the dollar, which gives us a structure for the currencies and other dollar pairs, right? Before we move on, if you like this video, remember, click the like button, subscribe, and get those notifications of the videos when they come up as soon as we will post them. Okay, let's begin with the euro dollar. This is what we looked at last week, at the beginning of the week, I should say. A possible retracement with an invalidation point and a swing reversal here, which it seems that we are heading into this area. Now let's see if we do have this situation play out, this reversal. We didn't have the break lower, so let's just ignore these. It's no longer needed. And this is the reversal for the week that would be expected in terms of probability. But of course, you never know. If we invalidate this high, then the idea is scrapped, and then we'll be looking at a different scenario play out. But for now, this is still in place. This high is still in place. So this is the next target and the one after that. Okay, so that is clear, hopefully. Let's have a look at the next one. So we've got dollar CAD as the next one, and dollar CAD, similar to the dollar, having this swing momentum move higher. Then we have a retracement here, and now we're looking to see whether this low will hold the retracement, and the reference point at the moment is here. So this would be the invalidation. However, we would be looking at this as a zone of entry. However, the difficulty here is that we have CAD news, and because of that, it's likely that we will face some volatility. So two scenarios going on from here as we are in this range. The better scenario, we can see that this price action is not very clean. We haven't had any clear reversal or pin bar. What does that mean? Well, that means that this level may not hold, and when the volatility kicks in and the news comes out, we may have some uncertainty about the price action. So how do we look at it right now? Well, if you have your risk managed and you're happy to hold, then so be it. However, there's another possibility, and that is this. Let's draw it out. So the other possibility is a break of the structure, a pullback to a better price, and then head higher. We will have a break of this structure. That'll be a significant break. Then pull back to level. The other possibility is this level here. So we have a lower level to watch for. So if we invalidate this low, they'll be looking at the next lower level. And then the scenario we'll have is something like this, which is a high probability if we do get this lower price here. As ever, news can bring a lot of volatility and we may see spikes in price action. So don't be surprised. It's always better, that's why I keep repeating, managing your risk and waiting until the news hits just after to help you to make decisions. Now, these are the scenarios for today, tomorrow, and then after the news, Thursday, maybe even more clear as we head into the end of the week. And let's see where we play out. At the moment, we're kind of in no man's land. We did look at this scenario. We had the push higher. So if I was in this idea, in this scenario, then I'll be looking to tighten, reduce my risk, and then go from there. And if the news hits in and the trade goes in the expected direction, great. If it doesn't, then, well, so be it. The risk is managed. You can't catch them all. So these are the two scenarios drawn out, and that is the dollar CAD. Let's move on to dollar yen. As you can see, yen manipulated once again, took out many traders. And what do we see here? Well, we had the market hit into our entry point on the beginning of the week, right at the beginning, with that gap, move higher, fake a lot of traders out, and bang, this Bank of Japan again, really quite a tricky thing the Bank of Japan is. So really it confused a lot of people here. I imagine this is going to get very confusing, and it may be also for you, and you think, well, what do we do from here? Well, we're going to look at this in two ways as always and play out a possible scenario. Now that we've invalidated the level, the question is this a manipulation, just like we did here? And therefore we're going to head higher, which is what our bias is anyway. Or are we going to go lower? Well, two ways to look at this. If we head higher, how do we want to see it? Well, we want to see a break of this level first, of this high, if it is a significant one, and at the moment it's significant high, a break, pulling back, and then getting a better price to continue upwards. Or if we close below this invalidation point, so I'm going to write break and close below, then the opposite scenario would be like so. And therefore we would have then built a level here, something like that. We'll see when it happens, if it happens really, first of all. But since we are still favoring the upside, the buy side, then that is the outlook that I focus on until we see otherwise. Maybe a bit clearer on the 1 hour, and here we are, a big fat wick I should say thin wick, isn't it? About 80 pips there, which is a decent amount. Okay, let's wait and see how it plays out. Right now, we're kind of in no man's land, and it's difficult to tell what we should be doing from here once we have these big spikes, big confusions in the market. Let's move on to the next one. Swiss yen, similar thing with the yen. And what do we got? Well, let's have a quick look on the daily. So we had that bullish bias continuing higher and higher. We had this level marked, which was significant for the beginning of the week. And now we are heading higher. It looks like we have created this spike and our invalidation is intact and heading higher still. Now, this would be easier to see because Swiss yen is stronger than dollar yen. As you can see, it's creating clear higher highs, higher lows, and this would now be, once we clear this high, this would then be the invalidation low. Where to go from here? Well, we are reaching the nearest next targets on these highs, and we'd expect once again to have something like so. Break, pulling back to a better price, continuing on its merry way to the upside as expected from the beginning of the week. And the previous week before that, we were looking at very, very bullish Swiss yen. Okay, next one on the list is Euro Pound. Look at this one. Now, Euro Pound is a really tricky so-and-so, if you haven't noticed already. What did we look at? Well, we did look at this level and this trend, which we had a reversal off from. We had the invalidation, we had the move higher, and then we expected, in terms of probabilities, for there to be a swing on this level and then move higher still. And that is exactly what we've got. However, we didn't do that without Euro Pound being very tricky, taking out multiple structures, low gapping here on Monday, but holding this invalidation point intact, and then finally, confusingly shooting higher. But it stayed intact. It stayed with the expected bullishness, expected scenario, and there we are. Okay, heading into the next levels. Where do we go from here? Well, we have, let me just move that out of the way. Do this. We will now, after breaking, we'll now have a new level. So move this out of the way. What we'll then look for is a retracement. And again, heading higher. I mean, we're just following the plan. We're following along what Marcus tells us, and if it is showing us what we see as higher probability, what we expect it for the week, then we follow along and carry on with it as it goes. And if it doesn't, then we change the plan and we adjust. So that is the Euro Pound, clear to see there, making new highs, running higher in its bullish direction. Euro New Zealand, similar kind of picture. Bullishness was the idea, the main idea, and again gapped right into our level, held the invalidation point, created this new swing, and we're heading higher. First target has been reached. Now we've got our next targets up. Can I remove this? And where do we go from here? Well, of course, a similar thing. I mean, these things keep repeating, don't they? I mean, there's nothing new under the sun here. We're just doing these things, same things over and over and over and over again. And repeating piece by piece, brick by brick. I mean, you could probably tell what I'm going to say. Lower price, cheaper price, and heading higher. I mean, I'm not going to surprise you here. There's not going to be anything you may not have already seen. And it's just the same things over and over. So that is Euro New Zealand. And we've got our next reference points, next targets. I've got our invalidation, which now becomes this. I would say I would put it here. However, we've had the momentum kick off from down here. This is where we really started to shift. So therefore, invalidation would be down here. If we break through here, then no longer looking at bullish Euro New Zealand, but there it is. The bullishness is continuing. Let's move on to last one on the list, which is a pound Swiss. And what did we look at pound Swiss? Well, we looked at this bearish week. We wanted a retracement higher to get a better price, which is what we're getting now. Monday was an inside day. We've got Tuesday here. So we're looking for this area that we marked out, a nice expensive price point. We'd not reached there. So let's see if we do. And when we do, if we do, then we look for that reversal. So far not played out, not happened, so we wait. Remembering, reference to the calendar, keeping that in mind from what we just looked at earlier. We've got pound news, and that may kick things off. Let's see how it actually forms. Really want to see bearish price action from this zone continuing into the next price point, which is here at the 1.09 on 1.09 or thereabouts. Okay, that's the outlook on pound Swiss, and now we're back to the dollar once again. Okay, so that is the outlook, just updating you. Hope that helps. We've got everything marked out and planned, and following our structures, following what the market is telling us, following the price action, and then matching that up with the news on the economic calendar for the week. Simple, right? Okay, if not simple, put your comment down below. We'll can look at that, and then we can go from there. See if you have any questions. I'll do my best to answer them. And if you want to post your charts, feel free to post a link to your chart if you have your own. Okay, see you on Thursday, guys, and that will be the next update for the week, and we'll see should be a little bit clearer as usual towards the end of the week after the news as the market develops. Okay, bye for now, and have a good trading week for the rest of your week.